Hello, everyone. Let's go over the highlights of the day, starting with the food. For breakfast, my mom made a cheese, egg, and spinach omelet with fried potatoes. She took a tip from Chef Ramsay's on the internet and seasoned the oil with various seasonings. It was very good. I cooked the bacon, and she said that I did a great job, which was nice. After that, for lunch, I wanted something slim and not too heavy on the gut. Also, it was really hot weather today, so I decided it would be a great idea to make a healthy shake. So I took our blender and I added some mixed greens, some carrots, or just one carrot actually, lemon, blueberries, and almond milk, and a little bit of salt and olive oil. And I blended that up and I drank it. The taste was a little funky, I'm not gonna lie, but it was tolerable enough for me to drink the whole thing. For dinner, it was absolutely delicious. Uh, we had steak. Now, I was cooking the steak on our grill, but there was a problem. Our grill ran out of propane. So we were able to get half of the steak cooked on the grill, but the other half we had to cook on the pan in our house. So that was seemingly a bummer, but then the steak ended up coming out just perfect. So it ended up working out. I also had some corn that was boiled by my mom. Oh, she also seasoned the steaks and tenderized them as well. The steaks were perfectly tender, and the corn was perfectly soft and fluffy. I loved it. After that experience, let us go on to the next part of our highlights. And these are various anecdotes throughout the day that I thought were fairly interesting. One of these anecdotes was that a one of my cashier coworkers, he and I were having a discussion about bad language, and he was bringing up a guy called George Carlin, a comedian, on the various different ways of using bad language and why he thinks it doesn't matter if you say it or not. And then I mentioned, but what about the politics? And then he said, bleep the politics. Everyone knows politics don't mean nothing. And then immediately afterwards, a customer came up, and then I said, but shouldn't we act professional during our work environment? And he said, you know what, you're right. Actually, politics are important when it comes to the work environment. But out of the work environment, you could say whatever you want. So that was an interesting interaction, I would say. There was another interesting interaction. Well, I don't know if it was an interaction, more so just an experience that happened. And that unfortunate experience was that we have a homeless person who comes into the store every now and then to get something. But when he used the restroom, he caked the seat with his own feces. Yeah, disgusting. Courtesy clerks are not allowed to clean the anything that's a biohazard, human-driven biohazard. So I had to notify the manager when I found it. Now, how I found it was I needed to use the restroom, as many of us do. And when I opened the door, I immediately noticed the most horrific, disgusting smell I've ever smelt in my life. And it was so bad that like I couldn't even use the restroom. So I opened the toilet to see what the heck was going on, as I was thinking maybe someone forgot to flush their poop, and then I saw that horrific sight of the poop caked on the seat. It was disgusting. So yeah, I notified one of our managers. I notified all my coworkers, and yeah, so they knew to avoid it. But one of them didn't want to walk up the stairs to use the restroom, so they just walked into the public restroom, and yeah, they came back and said that was the nastiest thing I've ever smelt in my whole life. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Well, anyways, that might have been the most memorable thing that happened just for how disgusting it was. What else happened today? Well, we were doing donations, and I would always cheer whenever we had a donation, but I think I already mentioned that in the last video. I found out one of my coworkers is going off to Hawaii, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I think that might be all the more interesting things that happened. Nothing else is really coming to mind, so I guess I will finish the recount of the day there. Sorry for all the disgusting details. I think I've said that word way too many times. Is there another word that means the same as that word? Abhorrent, I guess. Sorry for sharing all of the abhorrent details, but sometimes that's life, and sometimes life can be less than ideal. So, yeah. But, I mean, other than that horrific event, I'd say it was a pretty good day. Well, thank you for tuning in, and have yourselves a great night. Goodbye, everybody.